Po-Shen Loh is a social entrepreneur working across the spectrum of mathematics, education, and healthcare all around the world. He is the founder of the free personalized learning platform xpi.com, a social enterprise supported by his series of online math courses that reinvent the middle school math curriculum with a focus on creative thinking. He is also a math professor at Carnegie Mellon University and the national coach of the USA International Mathematical Olympiad team. Upon the outbreak of COVID-19, he turned his mathematical attention to create NOVID, the world's first app to introduce a fundamentally different personal radar paradigm for pandemic control. His research and educational outreach takes him to cities across the world, reaching over 10,000 people each year through public lectures and events. And he has featured in or co-created videos totaling over 10 million YouTube views. Po, thank you so much for joining us today. And so let's say that the COVID vaccine gets deployed and is successful. Do you think there's still going to be a purpose for the technology behind the NOVID app after that deployment?
Wow. So the reason why I'm working so hard on this now is because really only about 1 or 2 months ago, it dawned on me that the technique we've come up with for helping people avoid disease is general. You see, because when you're working on a problem, you just focus on the problem. At the beginning, I was just focused on COVID-19. I didn't think about anything else, just let's stop COVID. And then after a while, we realized that, if you make a system that lets anyone see invisible disease coming through the relationships from far away, then it doesn't matter what the disease is. It could be COVID disease, it could be another disease. Well, what matters is it's a disease that transmits through person-to-person contact. And that's when I realized we need to work even harder, because we're lucky that COVID is not that deadly. It's a tragedy, but there are much worse diseases out there, and we are very lucky that one of those diseases wasn't what hit us. So then the way I see it is we actually have this pandemic as what is teaching the whole world how to deal with pandemics. And we are trying as fast as possible in the context of this pandemic to show people a totally new way of avoiding disease that has never existed in humanity before. If people get used to this idea, and actually used to it is the wrong word, we've discovered that as soon as people understand the value prop of if you install this app, you can see a disease coming, so you can do something about it. We've noticed it's actually a very attractive value prop. And as soon as people understand such a thing is available, if we get the next pandemic, which is surely going to come, then people will know how to react, and we will not paralyze the whole world for 2 years. Because actually, this technology, this technique, could even work before a vaccine is developed. We're very lucky we have vaccines, we should use them. But actually, when I look at the whole world, unfortunately, half the world's population is not going to get vaccinated. And that's because it costs money to deploy a vaccine. But at the same time, I mean, IEEE, you guys are behind electrical engineering. Smartphones are going to become more and more and more prevalent. What we have invented is the lowest cost way to digitally, I don't want to use the word vaccinate, but digitally protect entire populations of people, where it basically functions by merging together social intelligence in some way. In an anonymous way, everyone gets to find out if something's coming from far away. And then if they protect themselves, they don't get sick, and then the disease dissipates. So what we're working on is, yes, we want to use this to fight COVID, but we also see this as something that we hope the world can get to know, because the next disease might even be human engineered.